Most artists are not talented. Not sure where AI bros got this idea from that, I'm not talented. I can't do art. Yeah, I have to use an AI generator. Well, yeah, you don't know. No, and also, most artists are actually not talented. Let's break it down, okay? What is talent? A talent is something you are naturally gifted at. Being naturally gifted at art is definitely not that common. There are definitely people who learn art faster and learn at, faster rates. But you can't just come out of the womb being good at art. And either way, even if you are a fast learner at art, you still have to take time to observe the world around you. We're not getting this skill out from the womb. It's also this strange misconception that artists are egotistical. And that's probably the furthest thing from the truth ever. You have even an ounce of knowledge of what goes on in the artist community. A lot of artists, even the most talented ones, do not think they are talented or are insecure about their art. Of course, there are people who are satisfied with their art, but most artists will strive to continue learning because, as artists, we are critical. And I'm saying this as a general thing, as things I observe about the majority about artists, and then things I learned and noticed as an artist myself. I'm not saying this applies to every artist, but a lot of people think like this. And it's humanistic observation. You'll get what I mean as I explain, but artists, when you go online and you post something, there's always going to be someone better than you and then someone worse than you. And that's the same for every single thing in human life, of course, right? But then we take into account a few more factors. On certain social media websites, if you post your art, people will leave hate comments and they'll be toxic because there are really strangely mean people in the artist community. And I'm gonna be a little nice about this, but the people who are often criticizing others do not have astounding art. But that's kind of applicable to all people who are very toxic towards others. There's something they're lacking and they're trying to, take their anger about that and put it on others. Yeah, another thing, but most artists will strive to keep on improving their art because that will bring them satisfaction. Because art is a very emotional thing, Art is what you make it to be, because art can be a competition if you want it to be. And if you want to study more art, you can, but you don't have to. It's all about choice. So I've had a couple people, when giving me a compliment while seeing my art, they will say, "You are so talented," which I could be like, I can't draw a stick man. Well, 6 years ago, I could not even draw a stick man either. I was just in your position, but I put the effort, I put my mindset there, and I got there by studying a lot. And I'm not gonna act like I'm great at art. I still have a lot to improve too. I could always do better, but art is about challenging yourself if you want it to be. Because if art was purely for my enjoyment, I wouldn't need to care about if I was improving. It'd be more about fun, and that definitely has come to my mind a lot recently because I'm trying to work up to a tattoo portfolio, and I'm realizing well shit, I gotta take this shit seriously. But there's no more tomfoolery. I'm not fooling around. I'm on a time schedule. I'm a chronic dilly-dallyer. I don't have time to dilly-dally if my art is gonna be a career, because it's not gonna be for fun anymore. But that's different, okay? Art can be what you want it to be, right? And I feel like a lot of people who make assumptions about things don't know about things. Yeah, basic thing, craziest thing. But, if you don't do art, I fear you don't have the right to criticize it. And also I want to talk about this other kind of different thing about art, but there are, little kids on the internet who love to share their age because they don't know internet privacy yet, and that often causes, there's a large amount of younger people in our community who will say their age just to, get the reaction of people being damn, I wish I was that good at your age. When I was your age, I was at a much different skill set. And I feel like that creates a lot of insecurity in artists, and that's actually valid. I feel that too. I understand where they're coming from. So yeah, I don't have any particular commentary on it, but it makes me very sad because a lot of art is about comparison, because you compare yourself to the masters to use their techniques and get better, So yeah, but I do think kids should not share their age online, and people should not purposely try to guilt trip others like that, and it does not come off very nice. But I'm not gonna be oh, I hate this. I hate Vietnam. I don't hate Vietnam, but, that's just something that I think about because a lot of people feel really guilty about that. But, if you're satisfied in your art, that's good enough. And art is about you. It's not about the other people most of the time. Because if you're happy in your art, you'll make better art. If you feel more content in art, you will make better art. I've had times where I felt so stressed making art. And I've been damn, I need to let it go. And then I let go of my stress, and suddenly I'm always I'm just drawing better, which is insane. But also, I'm such a jittery person. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, I have to get those nerves out of the way. Way too many nerves. But yeah, most artists, A lot of us are not talented. I say that with love, as in the context of talent is being born with skill from the womb. And also, there's definitely a difference between affinity for creativity, you know, having creative thoughts, creative ideas, than actually having a talent for art. But of course, you can improve quickly. Perhaps that's what it means to have a talent in art, is to improve very, very quickly. I don't know. Discussing for a different day. But yeah. Also, I just hate how people who don't know anything about creativity or being an artist or being in this space specifically, I don't like how they like to assume things about artists. Like, yuck. I'm referencing like AI bros, but like, who said art had to cost money? Like, genuinely, who said that? Who in their right mind said that? Because like, art can be made from anything at all. I have made art on my pieces of printer paper that I've sliced up from shipping labels for my business. Like, and that costed me nothing because I'll just print them for free, my local library, local campus, whatever, and then I'll just tape that to my package, cut off the other half actually, cut off the other half, tape it to my package, take the other half, I will just carry it in my bag all day and doodle whenever I need to. And that's like my recent like sketchings. I don't use a sketchbook anymore. I don't don't know why. I just don't like doing it anymore. But is that crazy? I don't know. But yeah. And if I wanted to, I could ask my teacher to give me a free pencil. I could ask my professor to give me a free pencil. And I've asked them before. I've asked my professor and they give me free stuff. And they have given me free pencils, you know? Or you could literally just pick up a pencil from the floor. Art never had to cost money. Doesn't even need to be paper and pencil. It can be simply rearranging things in a creative way. There's a lot of that type of art too. You know that one art piece of a banana with duct tape on it? That is classified as art when you think about the meaning behind it. And that wasn't made on paper or pencil or paint or pen or any type of other medium. Just putting things in a creative manner. You know? I don't know what lunatic decided that art had to cost money. Like, huh? Like, you clearly know nothing about art. You just know nothing. And then also, there's like probably more misconceptions about art that people have from, you know, not actually being in the space. But I think we gotta live to assume a little less, because I hear so many people assume so many crazy things in my daily life. And then I think about it, I'm like, damn, I wish I wasn't in this same room you're in, because I hear people say the darndest things out loud all the time and no one will say anything, and it's not my business to say anything because I'm not trying to get like beat the shit out of, okay? I'm trying to live. But also, like, I am criticizing, and sometimes like I'm pretty sure I have spoken my mind quite a lot in front of insane people, but at one point you realize that they are insane and then you get the fuck out. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I'm getting my wisdom teeth pulled in like 3 days for my vacation break, which is such a bummer because I wanted to film videos on my vacation break, but then I can't because obviously I'm gonna have my wisdom teeth pulled out, and I'm normally really busy and booked. I'm not booked. I have things to do, so it sucks that my vacation is gonna be me in pain, unable to film stuff. But yeah, I don't know, it's such a weird time being an artist in this insanely strange time frame. Yeah, but there's probably a lot more misconceptions about artists that I haven't even discussed in this video too, that, you know, exist. Oh, I really forgot to mention, I feel like people think that art is like easier than it is, because sure, you can pick up a pencil, but like to really master down techniques of art, you have to put in so much effort, you know? I'm not crazy, right? Like, yeah. But also, it's definitely very clear that the rise of artificial intelligence has made it so that people are more comfortable talking crap about people's hard work. That is extremely evident now. And definitely the rise of, you know, the lack of education, and I will say this politely, indoctrination has caused people to not be able to make their own thoughts up. They will just jump on a bandwagon and like run with the most uncreative thoughts that don't even make sense, but they don't even realize that because they think that's just like a sort of revolution when someone else who sounds remotely more dignified says it, if they are dignified at all in any capacity, you know? And I think that's crazy, because I just want to say, remember to stay educated and make your own mind of things, and stop just taking things at face value. If you want to know more about things, you must look deeper into them. I don't mean looking at the AI summarize section on Google. I mean scrolling down and actually reading the websites. Please and thank you. Also, I don't understand the people who say that like AI for schoolwork is necessary, because it was never necessary. And aside from the recent climate of the world, and before anyone says this is about art, don't get political. Well, I'm not gonna get much political, but well, the rise of AI generated images comes from governments not regulating it. A whole nother issue, but Yeah, if you truly have an opinion on something, go research it. If you truly want to believe in something, think that it sounds plausible, go do your research on it to have information to back it up so that it is actually something you believe in. Don't just take things for face value. And yeah, especially for those people who don't know what good art brings to the world. And those are the same people who will live by like certain movies and like certain creators. Those are humans, you know. If you love your AI so much, you can go suck on its balls. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that's enough. Last video, I was low-key sad. This video, I had a sad day too, but you know, I came home, I got better, I'm doing better, I'm getting better. Yeah. And I think that people should be way less narrow-minded because objectively, people are not perfect. People are very imperfect, and there's always something we can do to improve and change. So that's my mindset of getting better at art, but also for like criticizing other people. I think about, yes, people can change, but yes, some people are genuinely toxic and won't change, but for the people who do change and want to change, I applaud them for that because that's a good value to have. But yeah, don't be that narrow-minded because things are like always elastic. I don't feel like there needs to be jealousy and hatred in art because this isn't the type of life form that needs that. You don't need jealousy or hatred in art because you're on your own path, and I do feel, sometimes I used to feel jealous about other people and other artists, and I would say really vain things, and I would use, people who weren't good at art to make myself feel better. But there's just like no point for that because art isn't about them. Art isn't about me comparing myself to them. Art is about feeling inspired by others and taking that into stride, Anyways, that's it for the end of the video. I'm sorry that it had to end with me and my surgery voice, but I hope I'll be better soon because I do want to make new videos. So bye guys.